Hey guys, welcome to video 5 for lesson 5-3. No, you're not in the wrong place. Since this was such a long section, we are swapping up in between videos. I know you guys are used to just one of us doing the whole set of videos, but we decided we were going to share on this one. So Ms. Blaylock did the first 4 videos, and I'm going to do these 4 videos. In this video, we're going to take a look at what happens when your A value is 1. So let's go ahead and jump into the notes. Let's go. Alright, like I said, in this video we're going to look at factoring when our A value is equal to 1. So when we're looking at our quadratic, it will look something like this. We're going to have a squared plus bx plus c, where a is going to be equal to 1. Now this is going to be one of those rare cases where this is actually going to be a special case. It is actually easier than the factoring problems we've looked at so far. But let's go ahead and look at the example we're given. So we're given x squared minus 3x is equal to 28. Now, before we can go about factoring this, we need to make sure that all the terms are on the same side and that we have this equation set equal to 0. So in this case, x squared minus 3x is indeed on the same side, but that 28 is on the wrong side. We're going to need to move that over. So we do this just like when we're manipulating regular equations. We are going to need to subtract 28 from both sides, and that's going to give us x squared minus 3x minus 28 is equal to 0. Now, this is set up in the form that we've been using to factor, but we will notice that there is no a value in front of the x squared here. And that's actually going to make some things easier. That just means that, remember, anytime that we have a x with no variable in front of it, that just has a coefficient of 1 hanging out in front of it. So that's actually going to make this easier. So let's go ahead and keep moving on. So, like I said, this is going to look like 1x squared minus 3x minus 28 equals 0. The next thing we are going to want to do is, just like we've been doing so far, is lock in our x's. In this case, we have a 1 in front of the x squared. The only possible combination of integers that I can multiply together to get 1 are 1 and itself. So that's how we know that both of these front variables are both going to be x with no variables in front, because we can't multiply any other numbers but 1 to have this multiply out to be 1x squared. The next thing we need to think about is whether our signs should be the same or whether they should be different. So I look at my terms. I have a negative 28, so that one means when I multiply them together, my sign should be opposite. One should be positive and one should be negative. So I can go ahead and fill out that step. So now what I want to ask myself is what's going to add to give me negative 3 and multiply to give me negative 28. So when I'm looking at my factors of 28, we have 1 and 28, we have 2 and 14, and we have 4 and 7. If you remember back to the videos that Ms. Blaylock did, we want to try first the ones that are closest together. So that's going to be the 4 and the 7. Now we do know that we want the sum to be negative. So to get a negative sum, that means our bigger number is going to have to be the one that is negative. So let's go ahead and try with 4 and negative 7 and see what we can get. Now when we multiply out the x times negative 7x, that is going to give us negative 7x. And then when we multiply the 4 times the x, that is going to give us our positive 4x. And when we add those together, we do get negative 3. So this is going to be how we would factor this. We would get x plus 4 times x minus 7. These terms are going to add to give us that middle negative 3x. The 4 and the negative 7 are going to multiply to give us the negative 28. So we have our factors here. Now remember, if we were going to take this one step further and solve it from here, we would set each factor equal to 0. So we would do x plus 4 equals 0. And x minus 7 equals 0. We would subtract 4 from this side, and we would get x equals negative 4. And on this one, we would add 7 to both sides and get x equals positive 7. So those would be our 2 answers. You don't have U-tries after this video. We will pick some up after video 7. So for now, go ahead and make sure that you're good with this video, and then move on to video 6. See you then.